Y'all, everyday say here, back with another video. Listen, today I just wanted to talk about the presidential election and everything that I saw. First and foremost, I am not the most politically correct person. Politics is probably the thing I know the least about. I'm working on getting better at that and better understanding politics. But I just wanted to talk about stuff because I was so disturbed by the things that I saw, not only during this political election, but also just stuff like the results and how people were reacting online. And, this has to do with relationships and things like that, but it's a little bit deeper than that. So, first and foremost, I think one of the things that really bothered me was me personally, I don't like being labeled something because I don't agree with somebody else. I don't like that. And we do that, and there's a lot of people who do that. I've seen, men say, well, you're not a real woman if you don't do this. Bro, I don't like that. I've never prescribed to that. I know women who sit here and say, you're not a real man if you don't. I don't like that. Because that's your perception of what a real man is. That is your perception of what a real woman is. That's your perception. That's not everybody's perception. So just because I don't agree with what you're saying doesn't mean that, or if I don't do the things that you think a real man should, that doesn't make me not a real man. I don't like people who try to put people in boxes. I don't like that. And during the presidential election, there was some of Kamala's people who came through to talk. I think Michelle Obama and some other people, Oprah and stuff like that. There were some times where they said, well, if you don't vote for her, you'd hate women. I don't like that. And not only do I not like that, I don't think that's a good way to win people over. I don't think. I read this book. It's called How to Influence. It's like how to influence people and how to make friends, or it might be the other way around. But one of the things that they teach in that book is that when someone does something that you don't like, you teach them and you give them, you give them the courage, you give them the motivation to do better, but you don't tear them down. You don't sit here and tell them, oh, you're a terrible worker, you're a bad worker, and then expect for them to try and become a good worker. That's not how that works. You got to praise them, say, okay, listen, you did good here, you did good here, we can work on here, like, let's try this again. That motivates people to want to work better for you, to work harder for you to become a better worker, not you tearing them down. And so in your political, rally and you trying to convince the American people to vote for you, to turn against people and say, if you don't vote for her, you hate women. What what did you think was gonna happen? Like, I'm being honest, like, what did you think was gonna happen? And me personally, I was offended by that. I'm like, whoa, hold on now. Like, this isn't as, cut and clean as it seems. Like, there's things on the Republican side that I like. There's things on the Democratic side that I like. But then you sit here and you're trying to punk me or bully me into voting for you because if I don't, I should feel bad about myself because that means I hate women. Nah. I don't know who gave her that strategy to do that or to say that. But I feel like you lost a lot of people by saying that. I love women. I have a wife. If I don't agree with what your policies are, it has nothing to do with me hating women. It's just I don't like what you're talking about, or I don't stand by what you're saying. Donald Trump made a fool of himself a long time ago. So there's plenty of things to not like about Donald Trump and the way his behavior is. But unfortunately, when he came and it was time to show up, he knew what he was talking about. And Kamala wasn't given a fair chance. She didn't get to go through the whole process that, Donald Trump did in the past and all those things. She kind of just got thrown in there and was like, hey, make this work in like 99 days or however many days it was. So, she did her thing. She put up her fight. But at the end of the day, pretty much Trump swept her, and it wasn't even a competition. I'm sure that next time she'll be ready, she'll be prepared, she'll be able to answer the questions that the people want to ask her. She'll have a better understanding of the things that the American people want to see changed in the United States, and she'll be better prepared. But I mean, and Joe Biden did that too. Joe Biden did that same thing, talking about, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Now, what, bro? What, bro? Like, oh, whew, Lord, that type of stuff. I hate when people try to put you in a box. I do not like that. Trying to say, if you don't follow these guidelines, then you're not this type of person, trying to assassinate people's character. And that brings me on to my next part. Social media. Oh my goodness. After Trump was elected as president, I should have just stayed off of social media. I should have just let it go. Been like, you know what? I ain't even gonna worry about it. I get on social media. Looks like I'm about to clean out my friends list today. Look like I'm about to have to start blocking some people today. And I'm just like, y'all can't be friends with people who have a difference of opinion? Listen, me personally, I don't want people around me that are exactly like me, because I can't grow. I need people who are different. I need people who think different. I need people who see things different. I need people with different levels of education. I need people who have different types of jobs. I need people who have different types of knowledge about different things. I don't want someone who is exactly like me, has the same knowledge about the same things I have. I like to learn. And I like to learn from people. So if you have a difference of opinion on something, I welcome that. I'm not offended by your difference of opinion. I embrace it. I may not agree with it, but that doesn't mean that I can't be cool with you. There were so many people that was on Facebook, on Instagram, talking about, oh my goodness, one of my friends, they voted for Trump, so I can't be friends with them no more. Oh, I know this person was a Trump supporter. I'm kicking them to the curb. I'm blocking their number. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And I'm just like, y'all really cutting off friendships because of a vote? Y'all really cutting off friendships that's been 5, 10, 15 years long because they decided to vote for someone other than who you voted for? Did you even try to take the time to understand why they voted for the person they voted for? Did you ask them any questions, or did you just hear the fact that they voted for Trump? You just automatically I can't be with him. I can't deal with him. I can't be friends with him. That's an ignorant way of thinking. Just because someone has a difference of opinion from what you have, you can't be around them? That is such a childish and immature way of thinking. That's childish. You need to grow up. Dude, there are going to be so many people who come in your life that are not going to agree with the things that you agree upon. Nah. That's immature. That's childish. I don't care if you voted for Kamala. I don't care if you voted for Trump. I don't care who you voted for. If I'm cool with you, I'm cool with you. I may ask you some questions like, hey, why did you vote for this person? And I'm going to sit down and I'm going to listen to what you have to say. But if you have like your own reasons because you think Trump is a great leader, you think that he has the background for it, you think that he did great the last time he was elected and all these other things, if that's how you feel, that's fine. I ain't gonna sit here and be mad at you and not be friends with you. And then the other thing I want to talk about, this part is strictly for black people. I ain't gonna hold you. Strictly for black people. I'm gonna try to be honest with y'all. I got some friends who voted for Kamala only because she was black. They don't know anything about her policies. They don't know nothing about this woman. They don't know anything. And this is the same way with Barack Obama. Didn't know anything about any of that stuff. And just blindly voted for them because they share in their appearance. And I think that's ignorant too. I'm sorry. I do. I think that's ignorant. I think you got, hey, listen, I'm all for lifting up my black people. I am. But at least be educated about the things that they stand for. Because just because someone's black doesn't mean they're in support of black people. Just so y'all know that. There are people who share my resemblance, but they disdain black people. There are people who look just like me, and they can't stand black people. They call us monkeys and the N-word more than some Caucasian people. So I understand it's like, oh, we got somebody black in the office. Hey, let's prop them up. Let's send them to the top. Hey, I'm right there with you. But at the same time, please understand the policies and the politics and all the things that they stand for. Because, trust me, just because they a certain color, that don't mean they rocking for us. So listen, all I'm saying is this. I understand that we like to see our color in high places. I love to see it. I love to see it. But just at least have some, don't blindly run into something because you see someone who shares our reflection. Try to have an understanding. Try to think about what they're supporting and what they're pushing, their policies and what they're trying to do. So that when somebody asks you why you voting for them, you not just saying because they black. You can at least have a very intellectual conversation and say, well, first and foremost, they African American or they black, whatever you want to call them. And then I agree with this policy, this policy, this policy, and this policy. And I wasn't even going to talk about this, but I'm going to go ahead and throw this in here too. Because I think Cardi B and some other people said that Trump being elected was black men's fault and that black men hate black women. I don't know where she got that from. Based on the politics, it was a variety of black, Caucasian, Latino people who voted for Trump. It wasn't just black men. And before you try to push this narrative that black men hate black women, let me tell you this, that's a lie. Black men love black women. And it's evident every single day. You may be blinded by social media and the things you see on social media, but majority of black men love black women. The majority of black women love black men. So maybe look into how Kamala had her political stuff set up, how her campaign was set up, and see if it really served what the United States or what the country was wanting to get rectified. See if her policies aligned with the issues that the American people have. If they did, if they didn't, then you have to ask yourself, did she run a very good political campaign? Or did she just not address the things that the American people were looking for?